Welcome back to the channel, guys. In last week's video, we decided to invest in Apple stock, and since then it has made a lot of headlines and the stock price has shot up well over 16%. We've been able to make some solid gains thus far off of investing in Apple. Now in this video here today, what I'm going to be doing is covering the Robinhood challenge. If you haven't heard of that before, essentially I take $100 every single week and I give you my picks, my insight, as well as just show you firsthand the trades that I'm making in the stock market so you get a better understanding. You can watch my portfolio grow. Hopefully you're going to learn a few things along the way. Now, something that I don't typically do here on this channel is cover a lot of the picks that I do like. I don't really give out my recommendations and I don't tell you exactly how to invest because I really believe that you should be doing your own due diligence in those stocks that you would like to be investing in, finding the ones that meet your criteria. But what I do offer is some insight into my moves and why I'm making them. So in this video here today, I'm going to be covering my top picks for the month of August 2020 and what I see myself investing in here in the near future and what I did this past week on the market. So let's just jump right in and start covering it. So like I said, last week was a really great pickup for me when I bought a share of Apple stock before any of that news came out. You can see the headlines, and what has really been dominating the investment realm is that 4-for-1 stock split that Apple is going to offer. So let me cover a little bit about that. What we're going to see now is obviously it was hovering around the $380 range. It has spiked significantly since then, and we can expect to buy Apple for around the $100 price range. For that reason, this is the very first stock that I would say it is important to keep your eye on moving forward. It's giving you the opportunity to get back in at Apple at a lower price, a more competitive price, so you can take advantage of money that you're putting into the stock market. There's so much that I love to see from a company like this. There's so much that Apple offers in terms of innovation, the product line that they offer, and there's so much that they bring to the table in terms of technology. So what we can see here is that Apple stock is going to go through this stock split. It's not the first time that they've done it, but you can see the timeline of everything. It's pretty wide open for you to see. If you read through some of the articles online, you're going to find that the shares are going to be distributed to the shareholders at the close of business on August 24th. So anyone who's holding the shares, essentially the stock split will take place and then they're going to get access to the rest of the shares, and then trading will begin on a split adjusted basis. So basically that lower stock price on August 31st. So those are two really important dates if you are an Apple stock holder, as well as someone who might potentially invest in them in the future. Like I said, this is going to give investors the opportunity to get in at lower prices. Once again, I see myself jumping in full force and riding this Apple wave. I really am excited for this stock split. And actually, it's interesting because this is the first stock that I have held that is going through a stock split. I have held before where it's gone through a reverse stock split and it was a really painful process and I got out as quickly as I possibly could. I was actually losing money from that left and right, and that was before I really started my investment series here. So there wasn't too much insight into that, but it's just something to keep in mind. So obviously I'm really impressed with Apple, and let's just cover some of the earnings from this challenge so far. So the past day I was able to make $10.52. The close of the market has not happened yet, so hopefully this continues to climb a little bit. Over the past week, we're looking at $152.97, nearly a 2.17% gain. Then we're also looking at a $205 return over the past month, and over the past 3 months, nearly $650, some really great numbers, approaching 10% over the past 3 months. And the duration of this challenge, which has now been going on for a year, is $218.58. Pretty solid stuff here, especially with everything, the pandemic going on. There's just, the unpredictability on the market lately has been just absolutely nuts. And really, I feel like a lot of it doesn't make all that much sense. But hey, I'm here to ride the wave and continue investing, whether the stock market's going up or down. And if you guys want to know, obviously that Apple stock pick worked out pretty well. If you want to know some of the other picks I'm looking at, it's just going to cost you one simple tap on that like button. So make sure that you do that. It really does help help me out with the YouTube algorithm. But what I want to do is take a step back, and I want to actually identify, what's going on in some stocks that I think have some potential moving forward. So the move that I made this week for the Robinhood challenge is I invested in a new company that I haven't invested in before, and that is Starbucks. So you can see right now the Starbucks price is $75.76. Earlier today, I bought in around 11 cents cheaper, so not too much of a return quite yet, but you can see just looking at their chart, they are trying to make a little bit of a comeback here. And you can see that they were definitely affected by the whole outbreak and, consumerisms and the change of consumer, consumption rates and different things going on. So this is one that I think, was hovering around 80, 90, close to $100 beforehand. And I think that we could see us get back to that rate. I think people are going to start going out more. They're going to be becoming more comfortable with the environment of how the world really is operating now. And they're still going to want to get their coffee. I mean, I don't know, maybe Keurig prices. If I look at Keurig, I wonder what's been going on with them, because people might be buying more Keurig because they're able to make it from home. But yeah, you can see that's kind of what we're noticing. But getting back to Starbucks, why I really do like Starbucks is because I do think that there's the potential to get back to that $100 range. They are a solid dividend paying company, and a main reason is I really don't invest in many food and beverage companies. I do have Coca-Cola as a holding, that's one of the other ones, but other than that, I'm not too heavily in the food and beverage area. So Starbucks gave me a really great opportunity, and now that they were on a dip, it could be a solid time for me to buy in. So that's another one that I'm going to be looking at here in August of 2020. Now, would this be a complete list if I didn't have a riskier option on there? One company that I have looked at, and you can really identify the trend in how their stock has been trading, is Blue Apron. If you don't know much about Blue Apron, essentially they are a company that offers a subscription-based way of getting food meal prep done for you. So basically, they have the meals prepped, sent to your address, and then you follow the instructions for the cooking, and you're good to go. You can see right here is some of their pricing models. It's a really interesting company. Now, I had written them off on their IPO as, not a very solid IPO. They lost a ton of value and their stock went down to, as low as $2. So it really wasn't a hot start for them. But if you go and you check out what's happened since then, really the pandemic has accelerated this stock's growth. And it took it from that $2 all the way up to $16.25. And it has been maintaining relatively well a steady holding. Now, this is one I wanted to offer some insight into. I wanted to bring to the attention of some of my viewers, just so they can identify a cheaper option that is a little bit more risky. I know a lot of people out there actually like risk when it comes to investing, and if the current market continues the way that it is going right now, if the pandemic is going to be going on for a while, then this could prove to be a really great time to get into a company like Blue Apron Holdings. Now, I myself have not invested in them yet, and it's one that I'm definitely thinking about in the future, but I just wanted to bring the attention to them so everybody could be aware. I think it really looks like at this point it's trying to break that $15 price range. Remember, it was a penny stock. It was trading below $5 really consistently for a long time. Let me look at the past year for them. You can see it was trending downwards, and for a while now it had been trading below that $5 price point, but now it is starting to go back up, and there is a lot of potential for this company. Okay, now let's say you're a little bit less risky. What I like to do is look at a lot of the stocks that I'm holding and ETFs and determine what has been dropping at a fairly consistent rate and what can I get myself back into. Now, when I look at my top holding, SPHD, I talk about it so much on many different videos. This is by far my favorite ETF to be investing in, and they're starting to come back now. So at times I was down maybe 15 to 20% here. When I'm down more than 10%, I try and double down. one. I try and dollar cost average my way in to take advantage of the prices being offered, because if I'm investing at this stock, close to all-time highs for this one, for example, near the $40 range, what I like to do is be able to take advantage of the money I'm putting into the market, drive my costs down, and get as much out as I possibly can. So SPHD, if you haven't heard of it, if you're new to this channel, SPHD is a high dividend, low volatility ETF. So it focuses on those that are paying consistent dividends. It is my biggest holding in my portfolio right now. It makes up about 22.44%, but that's okay because this ETF is diversified itself. Now, I am a dividend investor. I preach it all the time. I love dividend investing. So if that is your method of choice, I think that this ETF is one that is definitely worth considering. If you look into it, view the holdings just to understand, what you like to see in the holdings for ETFs, this might match up with you. So this dividend here, you can see, was my highest dividend that I've been paid by a single company, which is $7.11 for this past month. And they have been consistently paying me for a long time now, and it's paying you every single month. So you can get some really nice returns. If you look at the chart for them over the past year, we've got a solid dip. I've bought as it was going down. I bought at the peak here in the $40 range, and this is one that I could see myself investing in for the foreseeable future. I was just talking to my brother on the phone. I was telling him how awesome it was. I'm essentially getting almost paid the entire Netflix subscription that I have in 1 month. So $10 a month to pay for my Netflix from this one in particular ETF. So that's really what I wanted to share with you guys here today. Let me know if you enjoyed this style video. If you want me to do deep dives into particular stocks, if you want me to do deep dives into the investments that are potentially on my radar, really go into some of the details, what I'm looking for to be investing in them, what I'm looking for in terms of the PE ratio, the numbers, the assets, the balance sheet, all that stuff. If you guys want to know that information, then let me know in the comment section down below. I can start doing some of those deeper dives, but for the most part, I really like just covering the overall idea why I'm investing in these and giving you the opportunity to look into some of the stocks in your own mind, see if it makes sense, and then you can go from there. So thank you so much for checking out this video, guys. If you do have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification. You guys know the drill. Thank you so much for checking out this video, and have a great day.